Hi folks, it's Danny at Bradley James Classics, and today's modern classic is the well-loved Ford Sierra Estate. It's a 2-litre GLX model, and being a 1992 model, it actually makes it a Mark II, and it's also a facelift, so rather a smart car. And being a GLX, you do get some nice additional features which I'll run through. It looks particularly nice in this colour, which is called Ford Diamond Blue. It does have a tow bar fitted, and it's a manual 5-speed gearbox. And by the time Ford were making the Sierra, at this point, it enjoyed the double overhead cam engine, 2-litre, and also the later gearbox, not the Type 9. It's the one that had a reverse and a slightly different position. Now, the bodywork I would describe as exceptionally good. It's been really well maintained and looked after by its long-term owner, who bought the car when it was just 3 years old. So he's actually owned the car from 1996 until 2022, and in that time he's looked after the car really well. It hasn't wanted for anything, and that's why it drives so remarkably freshly to this day. In fact, if you look through the MOT history, you'll see that he's done a good old-fashioned job of maintaining the car really well. So I'm going to get a bit closer so you can see the condition of the car, and I'll sort of describe the panels. Now, I'm at the back, so I'm going to start at the back, and well, let's talk about the rear boot. Now, it's a large boot on these Sierras. Now, I don't know if that's too, you probably can only see my reflection rather than inside, but real big estate car, loads of space, and a big carpeted area that's very clean in the back. Now, the boot has got perfect paintwork. One or two very minor marks, actually, well, hardly any actually, on the bumper. If you look round here, if I get really close, you can see there's a little bit of a little crack here, but it's hard to see. The rear bumper, rear panel looks in excellent condition. This sort of stripe that goes through tends to lose some of its shine, and that does happen a little bit on Ford mouldings. It's happened a little bit on that side. All good round here. Back arches, if I'm being really fussy, I've got a very tiny little mark here, but by no means in bad shape. The back passenger side, so the near side door, excellent order, as is the driver's side. Excellent front wing. A very smallest of marks here. I'm getting very close for that. The tyres all round. Excellent bonnet. No, hardly any stone chips at all through the front. Really very nicely shined up and looking great. That front bumper's really good. Being a GLX, one of the benefits is that you get the colour-coded bumpers and fog lights. This door's in excellent condition, as is the rear door here, as is this rear arch. And then moving round back to the rear of the car. Now, you get these roof bars, but additionally it's got the Ford bars which run across as well, so you could actually put a bike rack on there, a roof box, but the additional bars are very handy. Put a ladder, that sort of thing, so that's really practical. So as I step back and I take a walk around the car again, you'll see the car is in excellent all-round condition. It's actually got Ford wheel trims and not alloy wheels, even though they look a bit aluminium. They are actually wheel trims. Real handsome estate car, and I personally think this Ford Diamond Blue looks rather beautiful. Now, the GLX does have a rather plush trim, and you get these very shapely seats, and you can see that you get plenty of support. It's like a velour material, more the sort of thing that you might see in a gear car from the 80s, but come the 90s, I guess the trims were getting better. The back seats don't look as if they've had a great deal of use, and you can see that they're in excellent order, as are the carpets. So the interior is grey, the carpets are a very dark charcoaly grey. There's a Haynes manual in the back there, and then you've got that large boot area that I mentioned. Let's sit inside, it's warmer, and let's have a little look and look into what trim we get. 97,520 miles at the moment. Lovely to see it's got its original Ford radio, which works perfectly well. Radio cassette, so crack your cassettes out and then they fit in there. The clock, you have this panel which runs all the way through the center console. You've got electric windows in the front. Now unfortunately it's missing the little plaque that says which gear is where and reverse is this way. All the plastics are in good condition, no cracks here. Speakers all round. You have a rev counter in this car. You have front and rear fog lights, front and a defrosting rear screen. This is just before they started putting that lovely front defrosting screen. There's a factory fit tilt and slide sunroof, which is up here, and the headline is in really good order too. Now the car drives exceptionally well. That's the important bit. Power steering, which is something which, you know, you're struggling to see on some of the earlier big Fords. Rare to find it on its predecessor, which was the Mark V Cortina. Even though they did have some models that had it, it wasn't common. The Sierra is an altogether different driving experience with its independent rear suspension and drivability. This one drives really well. Anything that's ever needed to be done was always done by the previous owner. It's a credit to him the way he's maintained it so well. Electrically adjusting mirrors, which is here. Now the chap has fitted this switch, so that kind of overrides and puts an electric fan, which is fitted here, which is pretty good for saving fuel, and fuel being so dear at the moment, anything that helps there is good. A pretty sporty 3 spoke steering wheel, which is in good order as well, because that does look rather smart, the Ford steering wheels. It starts on the button, it drives really well. It comes with well, 4 keys, all of its original keys, and then that's 2 keys, so a spare also for the petrol cap. Starts on the button, drives superbly well. I've enjoyed driving this car. I took it on a run just to remember what it was like to drive a nice Sierra 2-litre. It certainly is more than capable of keeping up with modern day traffic, and there's no reason why this couldn't be your daily driver. Powerful, quick, starts on the button, quite a recent battery, and I think I've mentioned, having spoken to the previous owner who's had this car all of these years, from 1996 in fact, when he bought it as a 3-year-old car. So he's the second owner, but the gentleman who's done majority of the miles in this car, he loved it. That's why he kept it so long. But his requirement to have such a large car passed, and he's retired, so he decided that he didn't need the big Sierra. So I'm going to step outside. We're going to have one more look around the car together, and then what I would say is it's a car that looks really great to come and have a look at and test drive. I think I've mentioned that the bodywork is super straight, always kept it with a coat of wax on, and I think you can see from looking around here a little slower, there really isn't very many marks to talk of. The paintwork is stunning, really. It's down here I've got the smallest little scuffs, but these panels are really good. It's rock solid underneath. Anything that's ever needed to be done, the gentleman has had it carried out. Now the only one thing, now I look at it, you see this little bit of trim here. I've got a feeling somebody oinked it off and pinched it while it was parked outside the gentleman's house, and that happened over 10 years ago, and he's never tracked down a replacement one. So if I go down there and look at that bit, it should continue through there, but it's been nicked, so I'm afraid that one needs to be tracked down. I'm going to look down the sides, and you can see there's a real distinct lack of dents and damage. An absolute credit. Something that wouldn't actually look out of place at a car show, I'd say. And if you did buy this one, think you'd be pleasantly surprised how many people give you the thumbs up when you go down the road in something as modern as a Ford Sierra. Well, I'm going to sign out and invite you to give me a call should you wish to come and have a look at this car. It's worth mentioning that we do arrange full UK delivery at sensible prices. All the cars have a thorough inspection before they leave us in our own workshops, and we do own a classic car business for car repairs, so we're a busy independent classic car specialist anyway, and so we'd be more than happy to make sure that this car is thoroughly checked over before it leaves us. We do offer a part exchange. We do prefer classic cars, but we are known to take in modern cars and light commercials and even the odd motorcycle. So please do get in touch. I'd love to arrange a test drive. You'll see how nicely this drives, and yeah, last time we had a nice Sierra like this, we certainly didn't have it in stock very long, so don't think about it too long in case it goes, because you don't often see a high spec Sierra estate in this condition come on the market too often. Well, thanks folks, it's been a pleasure talking and walking around this car with you. It's Danny at Bradley James Classics, signing out.